Good evening, Rio Grande City. I am honored to be here with you today and humbled to serve as the mayor of the great city of Rio Grande City. On behalf of our city commission, we are grateful to all of you who are tuning in across the city, online, and on social media, as we present to you our very first virtual State of the City address. We do so in this format to keep everyone safe and informed about the state of our wonderful and beautiful city, nuestro lindo Rio Grande. We experienced an unprecedented year in 2020. The public rallied around our business community, and it shows. Our sales tax revenues increased 5%, despite the limitations the pandemic imposed. Commercial and residential construction moved forward, and we continue to assist the process of getting businesses to relocate and expand into our community. This pandemic has brought about fundamental changes in consumer behavior, affected supply chains, and completely altered business activity as we know it. It also provided us opportunities to rethink our service delivery and quickly adapt to new strategies, which resulted in increased skills and stronger connections with our team and our customers.
At the start of the pandemic, we felt the best way to help our businesses was to transition the bulk of our services virtually. An online inventory of critical COVID-19 information for businesses was created on the Rio Grande City EDC website. Information regarding government orders, grant and loan offers, CDC guidelines, and reopening checklists were included to help bring it all together in one place to benefit our local businesses. Our Shop Local and Safe Business practice campaigns were effective in helping small businesses resume services while protecting themselves and their customers. Grab and Go RGC was a campaign listing restaurants that were offering takeout, curbside, and delivery options during local stay-at-home orders. Another campaign launched was the Rio Grande City Top-Rated COVID-19 Best Practices Certification Program. This was a way to show the community that the named businesses had gone beyond the minimum state standards to provide additional confidence and safety for its customers and employees.
My name is Antonio Cantu. I work for the planning department. The program started because of the COVID, of course. The program consists of the businesses doing social distancing, of course, hand sanitizer, washing their hands, and also cleaning their common areas. A little bit extra from what the CDC was requiring. To get certified, I believe they had to apply for it with the planning department. There's a contract. The contract shows all the details of what they have to do, and once they comply, the planning department, code enforcement will go out to the site and see their practices. If they do comply, they'll give them a logo. When I see that seal going to a business, I know my family will be safe because they are complying, they're doing all the practices they're supposed to do. Like I'm mentioning, hand sanitizing, washing their hands, wearing gloves, wearing face masks, social distancing inside the businesses, and I feel safe for myself and my family.
To complement the program, the Rio Grande City EDC distributed free safety bundles for small businesses, which included face masks, gloves, face shields, hand sanitizer, social distancing floor decals, mandated mask signs, and COVID-19 CDC posters and literature. This was also an opportunity for us to keep our local economy going and reinforce the safety measures necessary to keep businesses open by helping to keep everyone safe. The city, with support from the Rio Grande City EDC, completed the $1.1 million in critical drainage improvements required to spur the new retail subdivision, Rio Grande Village, and is providing for the groundwork necessary to install streetlights on Rattler Drive. Also, close to 10 acres of property along the realigned FM 75 has been secured for future business park development. Residents can expect to see continued improvements in this area over the next several years. This past year, we saw the installation of the city's first public art display, and we feel that it is something that helps our community be excited about the city's growth. Our Main Street program and volunteers continue to make us proud by earning Main Street National Accreditation for the 4th year in a row. On behalf of the Mayor and City Commission, we congratulate you on this honorable achievement.
Traffic is a big concern here in our community, and our city is working hand in hand with the Texas Department of Transportation to ensure the development of our transportation system meets existing and future travel needs of our community. An FM 755 Port of Entry bypass transportation project is in progress, and we will connect the existing FM 755 realignment to the Rio Grande City Port of Entry, enabling inbound and outbound bridge traffic to quickly traverse to Rio Grande City. Traffic going to Zapata, Laredo, North Texas, or the Rio Grande Valley will have a much more efficient route through Rio Grande City. More importantly, we are engaging with TxDOT to accelerate the State Loop 195 project, bringing much needed relief to our busy downtown corridor. The city's A rating by Standards & Poor allows the city to move forward with projects such as the new fire and safety building, citywide street repairs, new Boys and Girls Club building, expansion of dog kennels, amongst many more. This past September, Stark County Nursing and Transitional Care held their grand opening. This approximately $10.9 million investment will provide much needed services to the community. Commercial development is progressing in Rio Grande City with the construction of a 20,000 square foot plaza across from Stark County Memorial Hospital. This plaza will include a medical office, pharmacy, and a First National Bank satellite branch.
COVID-19 has continued to impact our community. This is why, to help our residents during these challenging times, the Rio Grande City Public Utilities Department initiated several ways to help.
My name is Maggie Villarreal, and I'm an office clerk here for the city of Rio Grande City. I've been here for 30 years. I love what I do. I love working with customers, and I love working for the city. Things that we did because of COVID was we eliminated the disconnect fees. We were not disconnecting customers at all due to that pandemic. We were not charging late fees. We started taking payments over the phone for their convenience. A lot of our customers had been left without their jobs. Some were working part-time and some were laid off completely. And they were so appreciative of us being able to work with them. We made plans and arrangements with them so that they could be able to pay their bills and not getting disconnected. We as a water department, we know that people are going through very hard and rough times right now. So if for any reason you are delinquent and you feel that you're, falling behind or whatever, always feel free to call us, come to the drive-thru, and we will help you. We're here to help, and we can also make payment arrangements if you're behind. We will not be here to attack people, but we're here to help people, and we're always here for that. We will work with them in contracts and whatever else they need. We're here for them.
As part of our water system upgrades, the city was able to improve 6 lift stations to satisfy and effectively move hazardous raw sewage to the wastewater treatment plant. These lift stations improvements allow for system reinforcement that further boost each station's ability to function. Even if one should break down, there are 2 other that are available to handle the influx until the other is repaired.
In an effort to improve the efficiency of brush pickup, Rio Grande City Public Works invested in a new Hino brush truck. This new equipment enables the crew, despite working with new COVID-19 safety restrictions, to effectively facilitate brush pickup service with greater efficiency. Public Works also purchased a tire cutter to facilitate the shredding and disposal of tires locally instead of shipping them to a third party. The city's main priority throughout this entire time has been the health and safety of everyone, staff and residents alike. We've been recognized in the top 10 of safest cities to live in Texas, and our law enforcement community continues to work together for our safety and security. For instance, the Rio Grande City Police Department, in partnership with the District Attorney's Office and the County Attorney's Office, acquired an evidence extraction kit known as the MVAC system. This technology is the most innovative forensic DNA material collection tool for law enforcement. The system collects particles from surfaces and enables investigators to collect minute amounts of DNA material and will greatly impact our law enforcement efforts.
This past year, the Rio Grande City Police Department was awarded over $500,000 in state and federal grants. Funding from these programs supported critical services necessary to our community. The Rio Grande City Police Department secured the department's first Sky Tower and mobile surveillance platform and 2 mobile license plate readers, high-speed computer-controlled camera system through the Operation Stone Garden program. Our police department is also looking into encrypting all police radios, which would ensure that all sensitive communication remains secured. The Rio Grande City Police Department has also extended its forces with the creation of a new detective position through the Violence Against Women's Act and the addition of 3 community-oriented policing service grant officers.
My name is Maida Garza. I work for the Rio Grande City Police Department. The goal for the COPS grant is to increase the relationship between our community and officers, to report any concerns that they have of what's going on in the community, what's going on in their neighborhoods. Little things that they could address us, like people speeding through their neighborhoods, people disregarding like the stop sign, just hazards that way. So we do patrol areas. At the moment, that's as much as we could do with it. Through the COPS grant, we're trying to increase the relationship between the community and the officers to report crimes.
Our Rio Grande City Police Department continues to build community relations with their annual Thanksgiving turkey giveaway, toy drive, and National Night Out events, and strive for the best for the citizens of Rio Grande City and our community. The Rio Grande City Fire Department received valuable equipment to maintain current requirements from the Texas Commission Fire Protection, but also to respond to the pandemic. All fire department personnel have a full set of PPE gear and use COVID safety precautions when responding to medical calls. Every new firefighter who comes into our employment is required to get their EMT certification. Having an emergency medical technician certification enables our first responders not only extinguish fires and rescue individuals, but also provide emergency medical attention at the scene if necessary. This is another step forward of helping our community.
Not only did we continue enduring the effects of the pandemic, but also had to deal with the arrival of Hurricane Hannah. Preparedness efforts consisted of filling and distributing sandbags, organizing shelters throughout the community, and establishing our Emergency Operations Center. Once Hurricane Hannah landed, the city crew were ready and immediately started responding to calls and opening shelters to residents in need. After the storm passed, cleanup efforts started and residents could contact the city to report downed trees, power lines, and debris. Other organizations such as Salvation Army, the Southern Baptist Texas Convention, also Casa de Esperanza, provided warm meals to Rio Grande City families affected by the storm.
Our Rio Grande City EDC led census efforts for the city with the creation of the I Count Rio Grande City campaign, and with a grant secured by the Rio Grande City Public Library, created promotional material for community outreach events to encourage everyone to complete their 2020 census. But the pandemic hindered all those plans, which relied on person-to-person contact and community events, and we had to rethink our strategy. Our efforts shifted to census parades through various neighborhoods throughout the city, setting up a call center for assistance and capturing census responses at drive-through community events. Additionally, the Rio Grande City EDC secured $32,000 for Rio Grande City student scholarships and awarded $2,500 in student gift card prizes and $600 in teacher gift cards. And as part of the Rio Grande Valley Census Ambassador Scholarship Program and efforts. For 30 years, the Rio Grande City Public Library has grown with an abundance of new books, more selections in Spanish, news, more services and programs, and is currently rated in the top 10% of the best libraries in the state of Texas. As with many challenges the pandemic has caused, our library has instituted several initiatives to help minimize the spread of COVID and keep the well-being of our community a priority.
Hello, I am Yolanda Riojas. I work at the Rio Grande City Public Library, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about some of the programs that we have. Due to the pandemic, we started doing story time virtually. I used to do story time here with the kids, but since the pandemic started, we started doing videos, and we started doing story time through that. So we put it out in social media, and we also have it in our YouTube channel. So the stories are there, and we started doing toddler time through Zoom, and that's on Thursdays we have it at 11 in the morning, and on Fridays we have it at 4 in the afternoon, and this is through Zoom, and that's every other week. We are planning a virtual art show, and that's going to be for youth, teens, and adults. In February, we have Paseo del Arte virtual art show. We also have in our website the Beanstalk. That's a virtual reading and activity challenges. So you earn badges as you go along. We're also doing virtual ESL, and we're doing the virtual herbal remedies. Hopefully we will be able to open soon. That's our hope. Keep on checking our webpage so that you can, we have a lot of information, a lot of good programs for children and adults in our webpage. So it's good to always check it and familiarize themselves with what we are offering out there.
The Rio Grande City Public Library continues working with partners like Workforce Solutions and the Rio Grande City EDC to provide support for job seekers with workshops for resume writing, interviewing skills, and internet access. The annual Rio Grande City Job Fair was held virtually on February the 4th and featured over 30 employers and received over 120 resumes within the first hour.
In early 2020, the pandemic brought about many rapid changes, and all city events were subject to change or canceled altogether with little notice. One way we met the safety of the community and still provide a creative way to participate in local cultural events was using the drive-through concept, which enabled us to continue our annual cultural events as well as work within the latest public health mandates.
In order to mitigate the spread of COVID, the Kelsey Bass Museum closed its doors. However, museum staff pivoted their efforts to find ways to stay connected with visitors. Many exhibits, such as the museum virtual reality tour and the Rio Grande City Police Department 25th anniversary virtual exhibit, used social media to engage with residents and visitors alike. When it is deemed safe to reopen its doors, the Kelsey Bass Museum will be ready for visitors with a newly created kids zone for its young guests, a Rio Grande City historical timeline exhibit, and a new documentary project that will feature the history and story of Rio Grande City.
In response to COVID-19, the Rio Grande City Parks and Recreation Department swiftly moved to help slow the spread of the virus by closing city parks that have playground equipment and suspending group sport activities. Our Fordyce hike and bike trails remain open to the public, and we encourage everyone to take exercise precautions and practice social distancing while outdoors. Rest assured, we are working behind the scenes in making sure our parks are still being kept during this time and will be ready for everyone to enjoy once restrictions have been lifted. Our Parks and Recreation Department will embark on a new 5,600 square foot facility for the Rio Grande City Boys and Girls Club at Basilio Villarreal Municipal Park. We are pleased to add Fort Ringel Park to our inventory of city parks. This will help us expand access to open spaces and improve our quality of life. There's no doubt that 2020 has been a challenging year. We have lost friends, family, and neighbors, and our hearts and prayers are with them and their families.
These last 12 months have been a hard situation, not only for us here in Rio Grande, but throughout this world.
But as a community, Rio Grande City is strong. We are resilient, and we will pull through this.
I want to commend city administration and staff for doing an excellent job and staying safe.
We hope that this new year we'll continue working together with our community so that we can continue moving Rio Grande City forward.
Queremos darles las gracias a toda la comunidad por todo su trabajo. Estamos aquí para servirles. Ha sido un año que tenemos que trabajar juntos como comunidad y es muy importante que podamos unirnos como familia para seguir adelante. Y el futuro está en nuestras manos. Que Dios los bendiga y nos vemos pronto.
I ask for everyone to work together for the betterment of our community, because nuestro lindo Rio Grande is a great place to live. God bless.